Supernatural. You might know the TV show. Okay, so continuing our theme of how spirits get associated with physical bodies. Where are we going to go with this one? In the past, I have said in the fourth dimension, which is the dimension that most of us are in right now, um, we are quite likely going to see things that are inexplicable because we are coming from a 3D world where these things just didn't happen. And don't forget, we're going to 5D, the fifth dimension. So, some of the things that I've said that quite possible you're going to see are going to be, well, let's get right to it. The appearance of people who are, to you, physically dead. And I don't mean recordings of them, or I don't mean Tupac Shakur, Tupac, where they take a holographic projection of his old concert footage and, put a holographic projector of it. I mean the actual, what's going to appear to you to be a physical body. So a good example of this is in the book Autobiography of a Yogi, which is this one right here by Paramahansa Yogananda. And in the book, Yogananda said that his mentor, Sri Yukteswar, died, and I think he was cremated. And then, like a day or two later, after the cremation, he appeared in the physical to Yogananda, just like the story of Jesus. As you remember, Jesus was dead, crucified on the cross, and he was put into a crypt. And then later on, when they rolled back the stone of the crypt, the body was missing, and later on, Jesus appeared to people in the physical. I had a very hard time believing the Jesus story, except when I was little. When you're very young, when you're 6 or 7 years old, you'll believe anything. You believe that the Muppets are real and cartoons are, I don't know if you believe they're real, but pretty much, because your make-believe sense really blends into your physicality sense, and it's all magic to you, the physical and when the television things. But as you get older, you really separate that, and your mind gets to the point where you say, "Well, I know enough now that when you're dead, you're dead." And when you're small, you very easily can believe that dead people will continue on. But I think when you get a little bit older, once you get into your tweens and teens, at least for me, I dropped that ability to believe that that was so. I believed at that time that once somebody's body was dead, the brain was dead, so you're dead. So where do I want to go with this? Why is it that I believe Yogananda? Um, I think it was a number of personal experiences. I had an out of body experience at one time. In other words, I felt like my body was on the ground, sitting on the ground, and I was lifting up out of the body, going up. And that made me go, well, how can that be? What exactly is going on here? And the only explanation I could have come up with that made any sense is that I am a spiritual consciousness that is normally resident within the body, but apparently under special circumstances can leave the body. So that changed my whole view on everything. That particular experience of that, everything that didn't fit in with that real experience for me had to be thrown away, which meant the whole pile of science that was like everything that you're taught about physicality, the brain, and the mind, I threw it all away. I threw it all away. It's garbage. It's garbage science, and it's only your personal experience that can give you that. Later on, I read some science that said the experience that I had could be manipulated by exciting certain parts of the brain to make you feel like your location is changing. In other words, you could somehow stimulate parts of the brain to make it seem like you are outside of your body. Is it important, this difference? Um, yes, it's important. Because could it mean that I wasn't leaving the body? Um, I'll leave it open. I'll leave it open. But that came to me later. When this experience happened, I came to the conclusion that whatever I am, the essence of me is spirit and is not the physicality. It changed everything. Everything. It was a wonderful experience, absolutely wonderful, and life affirming, someone else wants to say. And the idea was, well, I guess I'm not going to be dead in whenever this body dies, because whatever that experience was. And then that little bit of science about the brain experiments was kind of a downer. Does it change my philosophy on it? No, I'm still going with it. I'm still going with the idea that there's a spirit here and the body is separate. And there's been other things that have happened. I don't need to go into all of them, but I still do. I believe it. I know it. I know it. For me, it's a knowing, and it really means that our Western science, that everyone is so proud of, and wants to go and throw in everybody else's face. Science says this. Science says that. No, it doesn't. And if it does, um, if you have personal experiences like this, you're just going to say, screw your science. Screw it, stick it up your ass. It's stupid. It's stupid, and you're stupid, and get away from me because you have a closed mind. You haven't had these experiences, and you're not open enough to listen to what I have to say and take it in and say, wow, and give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm not making up a story. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. Um, And then there's all the other stories that people have had about people, on the operating table that have died and that they've brought back to life after a certain amount of time, and the stories that some of them tell about what they experienced when they were dead. So, I mean, that's another kind of story. It's not my story, but you got my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, if you think I'm an idiot, I'm going to tell you I don't want to bother with you. In other words, if you don't have an open mind to these things, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just offering up my truth. If it's no good for you, then screw off. I mean, really, I have no use for people with closed minds, and there's too many people with closed minds, small minded people, people who are just all about me, 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 me. And, I almost told somebody today that was making comments about, you know, get off your ass and you have to work, work, work. And, it's all about, you doing your thing. And then I was going to say, just wait till you're old and you're in the nursing home. And me, when I'm the PSW, I got to come around and I got to change your diaper and clean you up and put you in the bath and feed you. These people that are all about this, you got to work, pull yourself up and work, 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 and other people, I'm not going to, subsidize them out of my paycheck. Sooner or later, you're going to be an old person and you're going to need someone to look after you. And these people are they're ghoul infested. I call them ghoul infested because they're just blind to what human experience is. Everyone knows that unless you have a sudden heart attack, you're going to grow old, and at some point you're going to need help. And the idea that there's other people out there that are working for minimum wage, and someone told me the other day that a one-bedroom apartment in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, is $2,700 a month. You can't live on minimum wage. And the particular post that was being talked about was a petition to have a guaranteed annual income if you're a Canadian citizen. And this person was, no, I'm not going to pay for this. And I wrote it down, And then I didn't put it. I didn't put it because I've talked with these people before, this particular person before, and they're so close-minded. Posting it is it's pointless. But I know there's people like this, and these kind of people, they're when they do get in the nursing home, they're unbelievably demanding. They are rude, and they don't understand that when you're a personal support worker or you're a nurse, that there's a whole floor full of people just like them that also need help. They, it's they're so rude. They're so rude and they're so demanding, and it's a wonder, that no one likes these kind of people. No one likes them, and what's going to happen to them in the end? Well, everyone apparently gets a life review when you're dead. In other words, you're shown by the people behind the veil what it was like for other people to experience you as a human. And the big eye opening is if you were a nasty person, you get to see from other people's eyes what you were like and get to feel what they felt when you were around and you were a nasty person. So these particular people, I don't know. I truly don't understand how they can be so mean spirited to other people. I mean, they've got enough. And I know everyone feels like they're working too hard, and it's mostly because our society is revolves around money and it's profits before people. And I talk about that a lot. But, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be looking to a social safety net for other people, especially when the market has made housing impossible for so many people. And then you see the amount of government corruption where the giveaways, billions of dollars given away to business or to foreign countries. Uh, it's unbelievable. Everything is just crazy, but looking after people and refusing to do it it's just I want to go over there and just I don't know what can you do. I mean, how can you wake people up who are unconscious? They're basically incredibly stupid people with horrible, horrible attitudes. What do you do with them? I always want to say, karma is going to get you. If you really have these attitudes, sooner or later, karma is going to come around, or life is going to come around, and it's going to teach you a lesson about this. That's all I got for you. I'm Bob Frizzell.